Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Far From Pro podcast. I am your host, Evan Walsh, and with me is my co-host, the man, the myth, Joseph Meyer.
Yes, sir.
And this time of year, the leaves are changing, and now I'm back in Minnesota, so I'm also getting those fall vibes. Fall vibes. And Joseph, this past weekend, we had a great slate of football games, Saturday and Sunday. And that is
incredible.
Just super special to me. That is super special.
It's the October football, man. It's the October football. It doesn't get better than that.
It does not. This is a really special time of year. One of my favorite times of the year for sure. And
Absolutely.
I hope for the rest of the people out there it is too, considering just the vibes you get, the feelings, everything. I love this time of year, but let's not get too deep into that. It's a sports podcast, not a seasons podcast. But
Yeah.
Let's start off with hot or not. We didn't do it last week. We're going to bring it back this week. I figured
Bring it back.
we got some things we got to talk about. I'll start us off with a hot.
Yeah.
Okay, I have two hots, actually.
Okay, let's hear them. I'm excited.
First one, I'm just going to say UNC basketball. The AP preseason polls came out today. UNC basketball is number one. I'm not surprised with all the people they have returning, with the players they're going to have. College basketball starting to creep up. The NBA season starts Tuesday. I'm a big basketball guy die hard for the rest of my life. I'm excited for that. When you get basketball and football in the same time of year,
It's incredible.
it's probably my favorite time of year, no doubt about it. Zero doubt. Sports like no tomorrow. It's starting up. And then my second hot is Tennessee football. And I think for all you football fans out there, you can know why I said this.
It's got to be.
But for those who don't know, Tennessee football is on a 16-year losing streak against Alabama before their win on Saturday against them. And not only that, Nick Saban has never lost to Tennessee before. So for him
Until yesterday.
to serve Nick Saban his first loss, for Tennessee to take out Alabama in the way they did, for them to rip the goddamn field goal post out, throw it into the river. I mean, it was one of the best parts of college Saturday. Probably going to be one of the best parts of college football all year. Joseph, tell me about your hot.
So mine's similar. I'm going to go with the indomitable spirit of American sport. All right. What a weekend it was. And not only did we have some incredible games, but America's true teams won. All right. Let me just tell you think about the most pesky fans in your life. Think about those fans, those sports fans that you just can't stand.
I got a couple.
What teams are they a fan of, right? Let's think about the teams that lost. Alabama, Notre Dame, USC's been sneaking in the bandwagon. Then on Saturday, you got to go with the Dodgers lost. Incredible. Then we go to Sunday. Packers, Chiefs, Cowboys, Yankees didn't lose. I was really hoping for this segment that the Yankees would have lost but just nobody actually likes those teams. We are all cheering. The nation was united like no other, cheering against Alabama. Everybody was on their seats for Tennessee, and it came through. It was incredible. It made me happy as a sports fan to see all those pesky Alabama fans sitting there. Oh no. What happened, Alabama, Tennessee, and all these other teams? America is behind you. We love you. We appreciate you taking down these teams that really nobody likes if you go outside their fan bases.
Well, and Joseph, I 100% agree with everything you just said. And I think that's what I think this weekend has been the best weekend of sports so far this year. Not even close.
Oh, no doubt.
With having, and this is the best part, is like, okay, a lot of the normal American person, they look forward to the weekends because they don't work on the weekends. But as an American male, female, whoever you are, if you watch football, these are the weekends you live for. These are the weekends you work those 9-to-5 jobs Monday through Friday, grind and work to wake up Saturday morning and Sunday morning to have a full slate of football games, see teams win that should not win, see teams lose that should not lose. This is what it's about, Joseph. That's a great hot. But unfortunately, with every hot comes a not. And my not this week is someone who I'm sure everyone's been talking about. I'm sure everyone's seen the story. It is, in fact, Donkey Draymond Green. So for those of you who clearly saw, Draymond Green has decided to take up mixed martial arts in the offseason and decided to try and use that on Jordan Poole in the middle of a practice. So here's how I look at it. And for those of you who don't see the video, I suggest you look it up and go look.
Oh, my God. It's incredible.
But in my opinion, here's what it looked like. Something was going on. They were yelling back and forth at each other. Draymond got into Jordan Poole's face. Jordan Poole then decided I'm going to shove Draymond. And then from what I saw, there was a little pushing back and forth here and there, and then Draymond took a nice swing at him. Okay, now, as a leader of the roster, as a leader of the team, as a person who's supposed to lead and guide this franchise, as we think of Draymond is, this is a dog shit look for him. And to be quite frank, the fact that they just signed Jordan Poole and A-Wiggs to extensions and not Draymond seems to tell me he's out of there. So Draymond is a for sure not for this week. Sorry about that, folks. Some technical difficulties on both of our ends. Won't happen again. Oh, well, we'll see. Hopefully not.
Little scene change up.
But yeah, that was my not for the week. Joseph, let's slide on over to your not for the week. What do you got for us?
Yeah, so mine comes from people who hate on teams that win big games, right? I saw a lot of this weekend, right? People hating on Tennessee for celebrating the win over Alabama. People hating on the Bills for celebrating their win over the Chiefs. I saw this last year when Michigan beat Ohio State. Oh, it's their national championship. It's their Super Bowl. Let's stop with this rhetoric right now. Because let me tell you what, if you're a true Alabama fan, you don't care about the past. You want to win a natty this year. You don't care about what you did against Tennessee the last 16 years. You care about this year. Let's stop with this whole, Tennessee rushed the field after beating us. That's a bad look for them. They never beat us. It's their national championship. Come on, stop that. Let's stop that. Chiefs, you lost to the Bills in the regular season. You might beat them in the playoffs. But let's stop with this, they haven't won a Super Bowl, so they're just celebrating their win over us like it's a Super Bowl. Tired of that narrative. Let's cut that out right now.
That is actually a very good take, Joseph, and I can get actually right behind that because I think overall what you look at it is like, yes, in a sense, Tennessee and Alabama, two different football programs. Alabama's obviously had a little more success than Tennessee. We can all agree with that, but that doesn't take away from the fact this is a huge win. You're beating one of the top programs in all of college football, and they're moving up the ranks. They're now a top 4 team. They're in the college football playoff. If the playoffs happened right now, Tennessee would be in it and Alabama would not. So that was a huge win for the program. Huge win for them. Huge comeback. They got that Heldon Hooker guy, great quarterback, going up for the Heisman for what I can see. Complete stud. It was a great game. I know there's plenty more games like the Bills Chiefs, but that's just a great example of a game you use, Joseph. But let's slide right on over into our NFL talk because we do have. Let's start off with college actually. We're going to get some main points out of our college games. We're going to get some main games out of our NFL. We're not going to talk about each one because some we don't care about. A lot we don't care about, but there are some that we do. So let's dive right into those, Joseph. So I'm going to start off with the first college game. I want to start with Penn State and Michigan because I think that's one that we need to talk about, and I'm sure you would love to talk about it as well. How about that Michigan running back core? I mean, that is
beat down on them.
To be honest, Joseph, I think that's the best running back core in all of football, in all of college football. No doubt about it.
To go with the offensive line too?
Oh yeah, great offensive line, and J.J. McCarthy looks really good. I mean, maybe not that game he didn't look specifically good, but in the past and him as a quarterback, I think he looks really good.
Penn State's defense is going to be having nightmares for a while after that game. Oh, my gosh, dude. That's just a horrid look. I mean, they got destroyed. I mean, the game wasn't even close. The score wasn't even close. And the score was closer than the game was. I mean, there were 2 plays. They had the pick six, and they had the long run by Clifford. Outside of that, Penn State's putting up 3 points and like 80 yards of offense. Just absolutely obliterated. So it's not a, if I'm Ohio State right now, I'm still feeling good about beating Michigan, but after that, I'm like, I don't know. This is the same kind of team that just took us to the woodshed last year. So, Michigan's. I was actually more impressed with Michigan. Like being a fan of Michigan, I was more impressed after that game than I have all season, even though they've dominated pretty much every game, because that was a beatdown. I mean, that was a destruction of a top 10 team.
Yeah, exactly. A top 10 team. Yeah, they absolutely they put their print down. Okay, they said here's how this is Big Ten thing's gonna work. I'm excited. I'm excited for college football in the Big Ten as a whole because let's not remember. Well, actually, as we're talking about the Big Ten, let's dive into this game. USC Utah. I don't know if you watched. It was kind of a late one.
I did watch. I was up.
Okay, good.
I watched the end of the Dodgers game, which ended at like 1:30.
That's impressive. So. That's commitment out of you. But I think overall, when we look at this game, so as most of you should know, USC and UCLA are planning on coming to the Big Ten. Okay. For USC to lose this game shows a lot about how their program runs, about how Lincoln Riley runs their program, about how Caleb Williams runs their quarterback. They're a joke. I think for them to lose to this Utah football team, in the situation they were in, with the players that they have, going against Utah's
pretty good.
Yeah, the Florida Gators will beg to differ, but we don't need to dive into that. Look,
Ooh.
overall, chomp chomp. Overall, this USC team is dog shit, and I don't want to hear one more word from them for the rest of the year. I don't want to hear how good they are. I don't want to care about Lincoln Riley. I don't want to hear about Caleb Williams. I don't want to hear about none of that. They're terrible. This was a terrible loss. This was a god-awful loss for their program. A great win for the Utah Utes. Ute. All right. But this University of Southern California Trojan football team.
Bro said Ute.
This University of Southern California Trojan team is done for. I don't want to hear one more word out of them. They're not good. They're not a good football team. They never will be a good football team. I don't care how many boosters they have. I don't care how many players they get. They're dog crap. Next game.
I love how like we just went into the season USC is going to be amazing. They're going to be a playoff team. Like it's going to take a little while for even if Lincoln Riley does his thing. Let's not forget at Oklahoma he had no defense. Okay, that problem has clearly not been solved. I mean Cam Rising and the boys just torched them. But as soon as I saw those helmets that Utah was rocking to honor the two guys that died, I knew they weren't losing. You're not losing to USC in those helmets. I mean, let's be honest here.
And by the way,
home field advantage.
What a great win out of Oklahoma football, considering how bad they've struggled this year.
Oh, absolutely. Man, Kansas, come on. I really thought they were going to do it against Oklahoma.
Oh, stop
Couldn't
it,
happen.
Joseph. Stop it.
Couldn't happen.
You know what this team is made of. You know what can't look. Basketball school. Okay, we've been here. It's like Duke. It's like when Duke football or like UNC football does good for a year. It's like, all right, you'll do good for a year, but you know what you're here to do, to be the backup. You're the backup program in case the UNC or Duke basketball team doesn't do well this year. That's what you're here for. That's what you're meant to do. Same with Kansas. Kansas is coming off a national championship. They don't need their football team to be good this year. They can take a year off, go recruit, maybe get a 5-star quarterback to get excited about. I don't care. But to be quite frank, for them to be like everyone, every year it's the same thing. It's like Kansas gets up to like 20th in the country and they lose by 1,000 points. It's like, all right, well, we're not going to play this.
They have not been 20th since we were like 7, bro.
Long enough. All right, whatever. Regardless, the team is dog shit, and we do this thing every year, and they play one good football
They were
team.
without their starting quarterback. I don't know if you can go there. But I will say, Big 12, TCU now. Come on now. Horned Frogs.
The Horned Frogs are looking nice. I will give that to you, Joseph. But again, it's like, don't you ever sometimes feel like in college football, it is what it is. The teams are good. The teams who are good are the teams that are good, and the teams that are bad are the teams that are bad. And I feel like it's been like that for God knows how long. And I feel like there's low-key becoming like a little bit of a shift, like players starting to go everywhere, different coaches, different recruiting out the NIL deals. You know, people go to different places for different reasons. Jackson State's starting to make a move with like that's another example of a random football program that might actually be something here or there. But it's like overall, like I think college football is starting to look like I think slowly, year by year, it's building up to becoming more well-rounded. We're not just having the Alabamas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there were 5. All 5 conferences had a ranked matchup this weekend. That's pretty impressive, I'd say.
Yeah, James Madison even got. I mean, they lost this weekend, unfortunately, but James Madison got in there
to Georgia Southern. You know,
Joseph.
Georgia Southern's pretty good. Pretty good team there.
We're not going to justify anything the Cornhuskers have produced this year. Although I will say, your receiver did have himself a day this week. What was his name again? He is
one of the greatest weapons in the country, and I feel so bad for him that he came here, man.
Yeah, no,
he should have gone to a team with a defense, man. Oh my gosh. I mean he would be a Biletnikoff like front runner right now.
In your 4-year tenure at Nebraska, which you're on year 2 right now, do you think in your 4 years there will be a ranked Nebraska football team?
Yes, I do.
What year?
Next year.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to it, Joseph.
Yep. All right. You got any other college football things to get to?
No, we're definitely not talking about the Florida LSU game, so no.
No, we don't. Yeah, we don't need to get into that one. Chomp chomp.
Don't need to talk about that.
They beat the Utes, so.
You.
Okay, NFL. What was your game of the week? Do you have a specific game of the week that you really felt passionate about? Because I know I do.
I mean, there's one that I'm going to feel passionate about. I don't know if it hasn't been played yet, but which would be our Broncos-Chargers game on Monday night.
Let's just go ahead and get into that. Let's get into that first.
Okay.
Broncos-Chargers tonight. I'm going to publish this before that game so that we can, it's relevant. I think it's important. The Broncos on primetime is just not a look. It's just not going to work, unfortunately. The Chiefs lost yesterday. It bodes well for both teams. I'm gonna guess you're gonna take the Broncos. So I guess
you don't even waste your breath. 100% taking the Broncos, and not only that, we're going against a really dog shit football team this day. Now, if you guys watch this team in the past, let me just get into the Chargers for a second. This Chargers football team is exactly what I said they were going to be at the beginning of the year. Overrated. They have a bad offensive line now. All their offensive line is injured. Their defense is overrated. Yeah, they have Derwin James, but Bosa can't even play more than one game without tearing his groin or some sort of muscle or something. I mean, the dude's a joke. Paid him a bunch of money. He doesn't even play. Besides Derwin James, I mean, I guess you could say, JC. I mean, no. I mean, who do you even have? Who could you even say you have on your defense?
Well, I will go with you there. J.C. Jackson's been overrated. That contract we gave him is not looking good.
Well, I mean, Khalil Mack, whatever, but it's just this team is just so dog shit. Justin Herbert, I said from the beginning, he doesn't know how to win football games. He doesn't.
I don't know if that's the way to describe it, but
no, that is the way we're going to describe it. And nonetheless, the only really good thing to look forward to on that offense is the hope that Keenan Allen comes back, and then Austin Eckler. And Austin Eckler, I mean, he might be the ugliest man in football. The fact of the matter that we are giving this guy credit when you are walking around bald looking like that is just a complete and utter disgrace. And here's my thing, Joseph. Again, I'm not upset about the Chargers football franchise. I'm more upset about that they have to go against a better team tonight and they have to get embarrassed because I do feel bad. Because this Denver Broncos team is going to flip a switch. Okay,
See, that's incredible talk coming from a team that has produced 12 points in 4 primetime games this year. Combined? I mean, come on now. Come on.
You have to understand something.
You make fun of my bald running back. I'm going to pull a Will Smith on you. Come on now. Let's not make fun of people who are bald. Because, Russell Wilson, he's getting up there. He's going to be bald pretty soon after he retires because he can't, throw a football very accurately. So, let's not get into this.
This is the thing. People don't understand. The Broncos' defense is good. Okay, that's one thing to look forward to. Okay. 2.
And their offense is certainly not good.
Well, we're figuring it out, Joseph. Okay, we're making our steps. That's what this is about. This is going to be the game. This is going to be the game that we switch. Our offense flips the switch. We lost Javonte Williams. I understand it's a big loss, but you got to understand.
Hey, you could get a Melvin Gordon revenge game here. I hate Melvin Gordon with my whole heart.
Why?
That guy's a scumbag. He's a scumbag.
How?
He had everything he could possibly want and sat out for no reason. He's not good enough to sit out. Have you watched him play? He's a backup on the Broncos who can't do anything. That man was not good enough to sit out a season and ask for more money. An absolute fraud. I want Devine Ozigbo in there, which is your, I think, 3rd or 4th string Nebraska alumni. Get him in there.
No, dog shit player.
Melvin Gordon's...
But, I look... Let's not get too diving in this game because we don't even know what's going to happen. But, folks, please tune in. Watch the Broncos take the W on primetime tonight. We're going to go right into my second game of the week. Well, there's only a few games that we're going to cover. Let's cover Chiefs-Bills quick. Obviously, a great football game. The Arrowhead Invitational. Seems like we're going to be having this matchup for the next, 10 years. Bills are going to go into the Arrowhead or whatever, but good win for the Bills, good little revenge win for them. You talked about it earlier. They were celebrating a lot. They should. They're one of the best teams in football. They beat one of the best teams in football. It was a great win for them. Good for the Bills. I think it was a good win. What do you think, Joseph?
Well, yeah, I mean, dude, I don't understand this. The things that Josh Allen does, if Mahomes did them, Twitter would be on fire for days.
I know.
If Patrick Mahomes hurdled a brother in the game, you're not telling me that play would not be circulating on every single ESPN.
But Patrick
Fox
Mahomes
Sports.
can't do that. That's the thing.
Exactly.
All right. I'm gonna make a Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Number 1 is Josh Allen. Okay. Number 2 is Lamar Jackson. Whoa. Oh, stop it. Stop it, Joseph. Look at the numbers. Stop it.
Can't win.
Oh, that's a team. Football's a
clutch.
team game. Football's a team game. I'm not talking about teams.
I don't know. He's the one who dropped the football against the Giants. So.
No, he didn't get dropped. He got sacked because they couldn't block for him because they were on their third right tackle. All right. That's a team. Football's a team game. I'm talking about quarterbacks.
Okay, you got Lamar.
Josh Allen,
Who
Lamar,
else?
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And you're gonna really hate me for this one, but I'm putting Cooper Rush
Do
at
not
4.
say.
Cooper Rush. When you're talking about a 4-1 quarterback, by the way, 4-1.
I love that. I love it.
4-1. You're not gonna have this guy on your Mount Rushmore.
I love how you're putting him on your Rushmore after he loses for the first time.
For the first time. No, remember what you just said, Joseph. For the first time, he's not used to losing. All right, he's my number 4. All right.
Cooper Rush forgot he wasn't Joe Montana.
Who did you think I was going to put up for?
I thought you were gonna put Russ.
Oh God!
But
no.
I love the Cooper Rush, dude. He was. I mean, that man thought he had
the 1.0 passer rating in the first half.
my
Was not a
gosh.
good look.
He forgot that he was not an MVP to style quarterback. He went out there making throws that only certain Hall of Famers can make. I'd probably put. You can't put Rodgers up there right now because he's just a bum. I mean,
not Brady.
Tom Brady lost. You can't put him up there.
God, you could maybe.
I guess you could make the argument for Lamar.
It's like I don't even know. Zach Wilson, maybe.
Oh, facts.
I might throw him in there. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I think the Mount Rushmore, if you go with just this year, Rodgers and Brady aren't on there. But I think Rushmore, presidential, historical. You got to throw them a little bone for the MVPs and Super Bowl championships. So
he put Tua in there too if he's healthy. If he stayed healthy, too bad he's like.
I don't know about that.
Oh. When he was healthy, bro. When he was healthy.
Oh, I'm so bad he got hurt, bro. Because
I know
now forever it's gonna be no. It's gonna be he was having an MVP type year before he got hurt because the Miami Dolphins organization is fraudulent. If you gave that man 2 more games, he would have been throwing picks up the wazoo. I mean, come on.
I like how you call them fraud. Like I like how you say that. Like, they're fraudulent. They're not frauds. They're fraudulent. Like they are legit criminals. Like if there was a court case right now, we could have these guys locked up.
The entire Miami front office needs to be put behind bars.
Yeah, that I do appreciate that, Joseph. That is hilarious. But we're gonna talk about 2 more games here because I think these 2 games are something that need to be talked about. Let's go into Eagles. We already talked a little bit about Eagles Cowboys. I don't really want to get into that too much. Eagles best team in football right now. I think we can all agree on that. There's 2 I want to talk about. Okay, and it's actually the Ravens Giants game. Okay.
Yeah.
So. Saquon looks good, first off. I just want to say he looks really good. I'm glad to see him balling him back. But this Ravens team is the definition of choking, man. But the thing is, they've only lost like a little bit amount of football this year. They dominate most of these football games, but it's those little stretches in each game where they just slip up and lose. That is something that can be fixed coaching-wise, obviously, and hopefully Harbaugh figures it out. But this team is also suffering through a lot of injuries. Joseph, I want to hear your take on the Baltimore Ravens this year.
They're the new Falcons, man.
Wow.
They're the new Falcons.
Wow.
Because the Falcons certainly have risen above that. Rise up, Falcons. They're no longer the choke masters of the league. Mm-hmm. I think the Ravens just I don't know what's wrong. I mean, you can't be doing that. I mean, the Giants are a good team. They're doing incredible stuff. You can't lose like that to the Giants if you have Super Bowl aspirations. The Ravens have Super Bowl aspirations, absolutely. Like you said, they're injured. Lamar's a good quarterback. I still think he needs to. He makes. It's those inconsistencies that I see from him, where it's like he can make the huge play, he can do everything, but then there's those little slip ups that cost them games. The defense, you can't let the Giants drive down on you and score 2 touchdowns in the end of the game. Ravens, just an absolutely horrid just a horrid loss for them. Who's gonna win that division, bro?
I don't know.
I don't know. The Bengals barely squeaked past the Saints with Andy Dalton, and then they're gritting like they just won the Super Bowl. I'll say that. Bengals, what are we doing? I mean, come on. you can't celebrate against Andy Dalton like you just won everything. I mean, I do sound like a hypocrite for saying don't celebrate a win. But man, Bengals, what are we doing? Steelers won, so that division's a mess. The Browns are god awful. Wow.
So actually, the second game I wanted to talk about was the Steelers-Bucks. So we can all agree that Kenny Pickett is better than Joe Burrow. Kenny Pickett is a confirmed 1-0 against Tom Brady. Tom Brady, that is, by the way. Rookie quarterback takes to win against.
I don't know if that was Kenny Pickett's doing, but sure.
Last time I checked, Kenny Pickett came down on the opening drive, threw for 60 yards and a touchdown. That was on the opening drive. Last time I checked.
Last I remember is.
Well, you
Big Money Mitch walking off the field with the dub. So,
Big Money Mitch, that's what we're calling him now. See, it's funny because of how dominant Kenny Pickett of a performance he had. I think people tend to forget, like, if he didn't get concussed, he was going for a 400-yard, 5-touchdown game, but he got concussed. We don't know what his stats would have been.
So is this your new thing where you just take the injured quarterbacks and say, oh, they were going to be incredible if they just didn't get hurt?
Do you know what he could have done that game if he didn't get hurt?
I don't know, but I certainly saw him in the last two games when he got to play full games.
Oh, when he played the Buffalo Bills, one of the best teams in football, when he's got one of the worst teams in football on his side. I mean, come on. I mean, it's not even fair.
Juju Smith-Schuster looked pretty good against those Buffalo Bills.
Still better than Joe Burrow. We're not going to get into it. He's a better football player than Joe Burrow. I think that confirmed that this weekend. We don't need to get into that. Look, has
Joe Burrow played Tom Brady yet? I don't know. I don't think so. Because they've been in opposite conferences, so
I don't know. I don't
know that we have the definitive statement on that one yet, but we'll get back to you there.
Pretty definitive on my part, but we don't need to get into that. Let's see here. Is there anything else that you want to talk about here, Joseph?
I want to talk about this NFC North a little bit because, Vikings beat your Dolphins, which granted,
my Dolphins
have a third string quarterback. Well, they're clearly your Dolphins after all the, the propaganda you've been selling. I'm pretty sure you picked them to go 15-2 or something at the beginning of the season.
That was the Cleveland Browns.
No, you picked the Dolphins to be
13-4.
We did a top 3 Super Bowl champions, and you picked the Dolphins first. So they're your Dolphins. So Vikings are 5-1. Only loss is to the Eagles, who are the best team in football. Maybe the Bills. So I'd say, Vikings easily number 2 in the NFC right now. I don't think that's very arguable. And then just to make matters better, the Packers go out and lay a stinker against the Jets.
Yeah.
Sauce Gardner, bro. That man is cold.
He's a demon.
He's like that.
He is. He's like that. That's a great pickup for the Jets, man. That is such a great pickup.
I love clowning on teams. Because the Packers just take themselves so seriously.
Yeah.
They can't deal with Sauce putting a little cheese head on there.
And then everything A-Rod's put these guys through in the offseason with the drama and everything, and then they come out here and they lose the New York Jets. It's like, wow. That's just I can't express how much I hate the Green Bay Packers organization and how dog shit they are. What a bad loss on their part. What a great win on the New York Jets' part. I love football, man.
The Big Apple is back.
Back.
We talked about it last week, but wow. I mean, these were good wins. Like
great wins.
These weren't just wins to win. Like these were good wins.
I don't think anyone expected New York to come out and go 2-0 yesterday. No chance.
No shot. And they did. I'm not sure how much of it is with Zach Wilson. I think it's more of the Green Bay defense. But Zach Wilson,
that man,
4 wins now.
He's that man. All right, Joseph, you got anything else for us on this episode?
No, that's pretty much it. It was just an incredible weekend of sports. Just made my soul happy to see some of my favorite teams win and some of my least favorite teams lose. Excited for tonight. It's going to be a great matchup. Certainly would love to put all my money down on the Bolts tonight. I'm sure you wouldn't love to share that sympathy, but it's gonna be a great game. Anything else you got for us? Great
Monday night matchup, great rivalry matchup for me and Joseph. We will be putting a poll up today to see who the people think is gonna win. I'm hoping for the best. Broncos country, Let's ride. And Joseph, I'm gonna need you to send us off for us.
Peace, go Bolts, baby.